going on Monday. What did you guys have a team together or anything, or have you watched it on the road?
Yeah, we did. We practiced yesterday morning, about an hour and a half. Got done about 11:30. We got everybody together in the locker room and watched the selection show from in there.
What was the reaction then when they find out that the season wasn't over, you're still playing?
There wasn't a whole lot of reaction, to be honest with you. I mean, I think they were pretty optimistic that we were going to get in. Certainly, a lot of people would have been disappointed if we didn't, but I think they handled it well. I think, obviously, if you ask them, it's probably a sense of relief. But I think over the whole body of work that we've been able to put together this year, I think they felt pretty comfortable or confident that we would get in.
You always want your Friday night starter to get off to a great start. It's never more important than it is in a regional, is it?
There's no question. I mean, I'm really pleased with how Tommy threw at Missouri and how he threw in the SEC tournament on short rest. He threw really, really well. He kept the ball down against a really good Texas A&M team, and pitching against arguably one of the best left-handers in the country. So I thought he kept the ball down. I thought he changed speeds really well. He's very efficient, and like I said, if he throws like he did the last two, the last two times out, he'll give us a chance on Friday night.
How important it is for you guys to control their running game? I mean, they're up at 80 steals.
Yeah, they got 2 guys with over 20 stolen bases. They got 4 guys that do the bulk of their running. They've got 2 guys that can bunt. They've bunted a lot, quite a few times anyways with 2 strikes this year. They got a bunch of guys with double-digit doubles. So it's a pretty dynamic offense. I mean, they can drive the ball in the gap. They got a couple guys that hit the ball out of the yard, and they got 4 guys, like you said, that can run. So we're gonna have to do a good job. We're gonna have to do a good job with the running game for sure.
Is that your first game with this playing Texas Tech last year in Omaha? Any familiarity with their roster?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Nick. I've only looked at Dallas Baptist, and I put all the stuff together in the other folders for Texas Tech and Army, but my whole focus between now and Friday night is just Dallas Baptist, and then whoever we play on Saturday, we'll deal with that at that point. But I learned that a long time ago. I remember first couple of years we went to Omaha, and I was putting together 7 different folders, 7 different reports for all the other teams that were in Omaha, and we were recruiting that week. And I remember we went out to we played UCLA the first time we went out there in 2010, and we just weren't prepared. I did a terrible job preparing our team. I spread myself way too thin. I worried about the other teams in the other bracket and wasted a lot of time, to be honest with you. And they took it to us pretty early in the game. They stole third base in particular, and they figured out, the AP I think was a 1 or 2 looker, and I just did not do a very good job. It was a tough learning moment for me. That when you get to this time of the year, the recruiting gets put aside. Don't focus on the other 2 teams that are in the regional. Your whole focus has got to be that first game, because if you don't win the first game, obviously you put yourself, in a heck of a position moving forward. So, not to be too long-winded, but Dallas Baptist is my only concern at this point.
That's good stuff. It's 2010.
Yeah. I remember we went down to the Perfect Game National. I think it was down at the Trop in Tampa, and we're going down there watching, the recruiting stuff that the Perfect Game's got going on, and like I said, I'm doing scouting reports for the other teams from the other bracket. And
this before you went to?
Yeah, before we went to Omaha. And like I said, I remember, after the game against UCLA, I'm like, I just didn't have them prepared. I just spread myself way too thin. And from that point moving forward, I'm like, we get to this time of the year, recruiting comes to a stop. The only thing we're really doing recruiting-wise is trying to get ready for the draft on Monday with the incoming guys and trying to figure out what might happen there. But other than that, it's Dallas Baptist. I'm not going to start on Army or Texas Tech until after the game on Friday.
Why do you think this team did respond with its back against the wall up in Columbia?
I don't know. I mean, I've been kind of waiting the whole time. I kept thinking light's going to go on, and we did play better against Tennessee. When we had some useful moments out of the pen again, but we played a really good Tennessee team, lost 2 one-run games, and so I did feel better about it. I certainly knew how difficult it was going to be to go to Columbia. They hadn't lost a series up there, the entire year, and their pitching is dynamite. They got some older guys in the middle of the lineup. They got the Meisner kid and the Zimmerman kid, and so we had to play really well. But this time of the year, sometimes your team responds. You got your back against the wall, and it's like, it's either figure it out or your season's going to come to an end. And I thought we played really well, but once again, going back to Tommy, it all started on Thursday night with him and his start. And I kind of leaked into the Friday night game with Jack, and he kind of built off of that. And then obviously you saw Nick go out there for his third straight start and give us a quality start. But I think Nick's confidence level has, at least on that Saturday game, had a lot to do with the first two guys setting the tone. So, we got just enough bullpen pieces that if we can get some good starts out of our starters, that I feel good about, 3 or 4 of these guys out of the pen. And quite frankly, they're not freshmen anymore. They've gotten a lot of opportunities, and they've been pitched in, some really tough environments, and they've had some, some bright moments. They've had some tough moments, but obviously, this time of the year, they're not freshmen anymore.
What was maybe the moment for Nick?
I don't know. I think it goes back. I want to think his first start of the 3 was against South Florida on a Tuesday here, and then he just kind of, it just kind of clicked for him. I mean, that's the unique thing about these freshmen is you never quite know when the light's going to go on. You just, you hope it goes on a little bit quicker than, than maybe it has, but he's a very competitive kid. I mean, I really didn't know a whole lot about his personality. A lot of kids you don't. I mean, you kind of do, but you really don't know what they're all about until they, have some failures and that type of thing. But he's a very competitive kid, and he's got a lot of confidence in himself, and he's a very smart kid. His baseball IQ is really good, and like I said, his future is very bright, along with a couple of the other freshmen as well.
You ever been to Lubbock?
Yes. I wasn't going to tell the pitchers this, but I remember we were out there, I forget what year it was when I was at Clemson, and we had a pretty comfortable lead going into the 9th, and we couldn't get the bullpen hot quick enough. The ball just jumps, in the ballpark, so, but I did check. I think I think the wind's blowing in at 15 miles an hour, I think, from the south, I think, on Friday night, so, maybe the ballpark might play a little bit different, but I do remember it's windy. When the ball gets in the air, it gets out of there in a hurry, and it's turf, so the infield, I'm sure, is going to play quick. So, it'll be a challenge for us for sure.
Having played at Missouri and Vanderbilt, is that an advantage for the infielders, though, having at least felt
Yeah,
it and seen it?
I think so, but, also the flip side of that is I think DBU's field is turf as well, so they're used to playing on as well. So, we played, on quick surfaces. I mean, Hoover's quick, and our infield's quick, and, we played on turf a couple times, so we should be fine. We should be fine that way.